Trowbridge, the new frontier.
We should, but every town we go to, we should say something interesting about the town before we start.
This is Trowbridge. It has many charity shops, a barber's, or several barbers. No, this isn't interesting, is it?
No, there isn't anything interesting about Trowbridge. Trowbridge is a larger town in Somerset.
I'm not throwing it out there. It looks downright gloomy there, doesn't it, with the weather it is?
Yeah, it's a strange town, no offence. But half it's brand new, and I think there's loads of brand new bits in there.
Classic wrong handle.
So I think, I don't know,
Yes,
I think
you're right.
the town, got somewhat abandoned at some point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Not abandoned, I think that's harsh.
There are people who are there and who live there and who do things there, and
it's not a bustling town, let's just say that. It's not like a high street. It's not
we're
like
really dogging on this town.
No. It's not like a main high street. It's a
I don't know what to
a
explain
quiet
it. I don't even
town.
know why we're talking about it, but yeah, I agree
but
with
it's
you.
large, so it's weird.
It's spread out.
Okay, spread out. Let's go spread out. But they've got an out of town thing that's got proper Marks and Spencer's food hall and Wagamama.
Yeah, that almost feels totally separate.
That's what I'm saying. It's
when
got
we first used to
Nuvo.
go here, actually, that's where we used to park, kind of that end. And it feels like a different town now, I guess.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? To be honest, we only discovered 3 charity shops we've been missing for about 6 years. So
What's this?
this is Emma Bridgewater tin. It had too much marking, but it was actually it originally
Butter shorties.
Yeah, it originally had biscuits in, so it's not what I would call a proper tin. I know that sounds so silly, but it wasn't manufactured to be a tin. It was just sort of like a gifting item. Does that make sense? Like a free perfumes gift.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's pretty much that's the long and short of this shop. There
What,
was
that
literally-
one tin?
There was literally nothing else in
That
there.
shop used to be really good, and that chain of shops is really good, but I don't know what happened to that one. It's sort of went
It
a
went
bit
bad.
There used to also be a really good scope on this street. There used to be just straight
It was literally a
vintage.
few shops before this one.
Oh, that's
and, yeah, you're actually right. That was we found some of our best vintage t-shirts there.
Just straight old vintage.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
This is a British Heart Foundation, but I had previously found good things in here. I found that Stella McCartney coat in here for $16 that we sold for 175 plus postage to the United States of America.
I thought these might be some kind of Nike boot, and were they not? No, they weren't. They were. I don't even know what that says, but they weren't at all. They were. Well, they look like they from the side. It looks like a swoosh, and then you put it around, and you realise it's like a U shape.
Oh, that's awkward. You picked those up.
I did, big time.
That's embarrassing, isn't it?
Not at all, no.
This is rusty surfboards. Hilarious.
Which is hilarious because they made of fiberglass.
Yeah, they're an Australian surfboard brand, and these long sleeve shirts can actually do really well.
Depend on age?
Short sleeves as well. Yeah, I think the 90s ones, the more vintage ones, do really well. I guess it's like Billabong, but niche.
Yeah. And to be fair, the fact it's Australian is I guess kind of cool as well, because it's not as well known as some of the other surf brands. You know what I mean?
And I guess Australians do some of the best surfing. I guess.
I would guess
'Cause
so.
they
That's
got
the logo.
They got loads of waves.
And that's the new stuff, which is kind of like around about $40-$50 US Australian dollars a shirt. So not
But the
hugely expensive,
vintage
but the vintage
stuff
stuff goes for good money.
About £30 to £40 depending on shirt and depending on graphic. Also, there's good money in vintage surfwear, vintage skatewear.
What was the most recent surf t-shirt we saw? A really cool one.
I got an Oakley.
Remind me.
I got a really cool Oakley that I haven't
We
listed.
haven't even listed that yet.
No, because I need to measure it. It hasn't got size in it. See, when I have to measure things don't get listed. And we found a really good vintage Billabong bum bag.
Yeah, a fanny pack, if you will.
Yeah, so
I like saying fanny pack. I can't lie.
that's listed for 100.
Yeah, do you know what? I've had a couple of offers on that over £70. So to be honest with you, I think a couple of quid.
Yeah, I didn't know you had offers on it. You should probably take those due to the fact that it's a Billabong
Talk to me
bum
about
bag.
this.
This is a... Oh, sorry, goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I'm at the end of my death. This is £100, but retail on these bad boys are pretty hefty.
Did you see there?
What's it say there? $500.
Yep, and that's a quilted jacket.
They can go up to £1,000 depending on what jacket they are. The bigger, more robust jackets. This is obviously just sort of like a top layer.
And this is Dorothy Schumacher for anyone who wants to know.
Schumacher. Is that how you would pronounce that?
I would, yeah.
I would have bought that if it wasn't £100. I think they were reaching in that charity shop, only just based on the fact that charity shop, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't want to be
These
like.
were cool. They were pink UGG, kind of SOCAIL knockoffs. They were £20.
I think the charity shops within this sort of indoor centre, this one, for example, is a bargain shop, if that makes sense, like a reduced shop. I personally don't think that shop reaches the clientele. You know, you go into some charity shops that have general or higher pricing. They get like the
good
fashion
stuff.
hunters in
Yeah,
and things
yeah.
like that. And it makes sense for them to sell them at heightened prices. And we would pay up in such shops like that because
Yeah.
they get a really good calibre of stock.
What we do, there's certain places in Bath and things like that.
I think when you're like in sort of like a less popular town, you get like a coat for £100. I just don't think it's going to sell.
Couldn't agree more. This was like an older Paul Smith denim shirt. That's Bethany Coffin. If anyone listening on headphones, I hope you appreciate that. It was decent. The problem was it just had lots of different wear spots. And normally I'm not really too bothered about on denim. I kind of like to get that patina. The problem is I do think the Paul Smith buyer is more of a kind of a clean. You know what I mean?
A clean man.
No, a clean kind of like
Clean
it's
cut.
Not, yes, clean cut. That's what I'm.
Snappy dresser, if you will.
Natty dresser.
A snappy.
Snappy. I'm saying natty. Anyway, that was always in that shop. So let's move on to this shop. Let's find some bangers.
It was a long day, can you tell? So this is a cats and dogs. Now, I don't like RSPCAs. I love the charity. I don't like the shops, the charity shops. They need to sort themselves out. But this cats and dogs, they have my full respect.
Yeah, I agree with that.
These are St. Cath Kidston flats, £8. I personally don't. The Cath Kidston shoes don't do it for me in terms of resale. Collaboration pieces from Cath Kidston, pajamas from Cath Kidston. They rock the house down.
We used to have Cat Kids an outlet near us, and to be honest with you, since that it's kind of ruined it locally. Talk to me about this.
2014 FA referee. I asked our friend over at Mr. John Luke because I don't know anything about football shirts, and Austin is learning. But
learning is like she says that, you know, like when someone takes their driving test and they're like 16 tests in, and you just look at them like, just stop it right now. But I am trying to learn.
It appears that Suffolk FA is a referee training camp or of some description,
which I think is very interesting.
Michael Bublé,
the boob.
I can't believe you went past that. Anyway, it appears that it would have been sort of match worn in like maybe a local match or just like a training fixture. So it should do about £30, hopefully. This is a Le Chameau, I like saying it. The shirt. They make a killer welly.
They do make a boot.
I went to school in a very rural town. In fact, they had tractor spaces and in the car park, and I know a good welly.
I still think that's a lie. Anyway, this is an older style, not necessarily vintage, but an older style Cats t-shirt from Cats the musical.
£2.50.
Magical Mr. Mustopheles. Google him.
Should do 25 to 30. Fun fact, never watched Cats. Right, this is an Ariat, which is the equestrian wear. It is a polo shirt. It is a small size, but as Austin convinced me, jockeys and people that ride horses are generally small.
I didn't say that. What I said was, oh God, I don't know why. I can't even be bothered. I'm not going to even bother.
They tend to wear like tighter tops, don't
yes,
they? With
do.
like their joggers.
Yes.
And then wear layers. I think that's what he was trying to say.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. This was a Max Mara raincoat. It was half price from £15, I want to say.
To £8.
That's not half price then, is it?
Because it was missing the belt. Now, I wouldn't suggest you. Oh wait! I'll tell you about Max Mara in a minute. These are some toast pajamas. Yeah,
toast pajamas go for massive money, guys.
That's a double set of pajamas for £6. Yeah. I'm hoping to get 60 to 70. Anyway, going back to this Max Mara coat, I wouldn't suggest you would normally pick up things without a belt. However, you could suggest to the buyer that they could add their own belt, or they don't have to wear a belt at all.
There's also only two little kind of eyelets, like a little kind of holes for the belt. So it's not like there's like 25 different things you have to feed a belt through and you'd notice that it was missing.
But the reason that I went for it and decided for it is because it is, first it's Max Mara full line, but it's also Max Mara rainwear, which means it has an element of waterproof nature to it.
Water resistancy, if you will.
So it would have been quite an expensive piece of gear, if that makes sense. I would still expect even beltless. I'm going to aim for £1.80.
Can I also say, just going back quickly to the toast pajamas, something I didn't realise, people might not know, the pyjama tops, and specifically, like you said, the sets, honestly, they can go for more than the actual clothing. The clothing does well. So keep your eyes out for pyjamas, guys, even if they're used, like well used.
Big up to me and this candlestick. So this, I pulled it because I thought it looked very like Robert Welshie. And then it was really stinking heavy.
And look what you did.
And then I Google lensed it and found this bad boy. And, it's off an independent website. However, I've got guts and I've got real, gusto, and I thought,
and you're willing to spend how much?
And I think it's a real statement, and it's really heavy and it's really nice. So for 1970s, mid-century modern aluminium twisted candlestick. I've got it currently
title machine
on my table in my house, and it looks, honestly, you take it out of the situation. I've got a big thing about
you do.
I find it really hard. Like I really like to dabble
touch me
in homewares. It's like almost like a weird hobby I have, like a reselling hobby. And you take it, imagine it outside of the situation of a charity shop, put it into an interior situation, and it completely changes.
I think that goes for a lot of things, whether it's clothes or shoes, but specifically like interior stuff. You take it out off that shelf with all that bland beige or white or Tupperware, and it becomes something different.
Yeah. I'll stick it on our Instagram, though, for you to look at, because I'm really proud of it. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.